Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine, and today I'm going to give you kind of another getting back into it program. So it's a full body workout, but it's something that you can do that's a little bit more restorative and not quite so intense. So if you have any restrictions or limitations, you should be able to do some of these depending on what your situation is. So we're going to start with a row with some bands. So you can either do this standing like I'm going to show you, or you can do it seated in a chair or seated on a ball, or just sitting on your bed if someone's holding the band for you, that type of thing. So I'm just going to be doing this standing, but you can use your imagination as far as if you do have a partner, if somebody can hold the band for you, you can sit up on the edge of the bed, things like that. So thinking about setting your hips, regardless of where you're sitting, you want to make sure you have good posture, your shoulders are down and back and ready to move, and we're going to pull back. So nice and slowly squeeze those shoulder blades. We really want to open up that chest, use those back muscles, squeeze those shoulder blades for nice and slowly both directions. Make your muscles work against that band, both directions. 6, nice. 7, keep breathing, keep those shoulders down. 8, drive your elbows towards the back of the room. 9 and 10, good. Even if you don't have a very strong band, you can really just work on those, squeezing those shoulder blades together and really working on those shoulder stabilizers and postural muscles, and just get that blood flowing to those areas. Okay, next we're going to do some mini squats. So depending on where you're at, you can do mini squats or you can do a full squat. I would like for you to start hanging on to something. So if you have a chair or a desk or your kitchen sink, works great for these. So you can hang on. I'm going to pretend my kitchen sink is right here so that I can sit back. Just a mini squat to start. So when you sit back, envision keeping your back tall, sitting your hips. Really what you're doing is moving your hips back like you're going to sit down in a chair and then stand back up. So using that sturdy something in front of you to really sit back and make sure you're not doing this. It's really all about the hip motion here. And of course, you can do a deeper squat if you're in that space and you know that that's safe for you. And then if you are wanting more of a workout, you can even add a weight, of course, or hold a weight right here. So start here, just a mini squat hanging onto your chair or your sink or your desk. Even a door frame will really work well for this because you can kind of wrap your hands around that door frame and hold on. Nice and easy, just sitting those hips back just a little bit, like you're just gonna sit down into a chair. Think about keeping those knees in alignment. Don't let them collapse towards each other. So you wanna think about keeping your knees over your ankles, sitting back, really engaging those quads, and when you stand up, squeezing those glutes. 9, I think I've probably done more than 10, but that's okay, this is 10. Okay, good. So shake out those quads if they're a little tired. Now we're going to do some calf raises. So again, you can do this right at your kitchen sink or your chair or your door frame, whatever. And I want you to just go nice and slowly all the way up and down on your tiptoes. So go up as high as you can, like you're trying to see over something. Like if you're in a crowd and you're trying to see, you can envision being in a crowd again. 6, nice and slowly. And I do want you to do this with something near you for balance, because I want that range of motion for your feet and ankles and toes, and really work on those calf muscles. I want that full range of motion. Sometimes if you do it without hanging on, it's hard to balance and then you don't quite get the full range of motion. 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now I'm going to have you grab a set of dumbbells, not very heavy. We're going to do some lateral raises, some shoulder raises, And I don't want anything too heavy here. And I'm just gonna have you stand in a little bit of a staggered stance. If you are able to, you could cross here a little bit and do a tandem stance. You're not crossing your legs, but you're putting one foot in front of the other. But if you're not there yet, try a little bit of a staggered stance. And we're just gonna raise those weights just about to shoulder height and then slowly back down. So your arms are straight here. If you're having any shoulder pain lifting these weights out to the side, first of all, you might want to try a little bit less weight. But the other thing you can do is you can bend your elbows and try it like this. Or do a little bit more of a diagonal. So here would be straight out to the sides. And then here would be a little bit more, I call it a diagonal because I'm not having you raise them straight out in front. It's more, you know, kind of in between. Let's do 3 more. If you feel like you're kind of having to do this to raise them, it's too heavy. So I want you to grab a lighter weight. If you don't have any lighter weight than what you have, grab some soup cans, fill up a couple water bottles. And 10, good. Okay, be careful picking your weights up and setting them down. If you have somebody in the house that can help you put them all on a higher surface maybe to pick them up and put them on, you know, a chair or a bed or a bench or something, that would be wonderful. Okay, now I'm gonna have you try some side stepping. So the very first layer of this is just stepping to the side, lateral movement. Engaging those muscles a little bit differently than we do normally when we walk. We do almost everything right here. We do it all forward. I want you to move sideways. I want to get some lateral movement. Now, when you do this sideways movement, keep those toes straight forward. If this is no problem for you, and you have somebody there to help you put a band on your feet, or you can put the band on the feet yourself, we can add a band here. So when you have a band around your feet, a lot of times the tendency is to, when you start to pull, your quads and your hip flexors, which engage constantly when you're moving forward, want to take over. So keep those toes straight forward. You really have to think about it. Keep those toes so that your glutes are doing the work here and not your hip flexors and your quads. Now, also, I am not doing this straight-legged, like this. So again, my hips are back just a little, my knees are bent just a little. It's an athletic position, ready to move. Side, keep tension on that. So I'm just taking really baby steps, and then make sure you don't slide your foot, especially the second foot here. Make sure you're not sliding it. You're taking steps, but you're not taking very big steps with either of them. So I don't want you to take a big step and then bring them together. So I want you to keep tension on that band all the way through. Baby steps. And then try to go about 10 one way and then 10 back the other way. Like I said, if you're not quite ready for the band or you don't have anybody to help you put it on, then just really the lateral movement is really important here. Okay, now we're going to grab those weights again. You can grab a little bit heavier this time. We're going to do some biceps curls. So again, you can do these seated, you can do them standing, you can do them, I'm going to have you stagger your feet again, not necessarily in a tandem, although you're welcome to do a tandem if that feels safe to you and feels good, but a staggered stance is a really great way to do these biceps curls. And if that's too much, just do a good shoulder width stance. Breathe. Now, importantly, curl them up, slowly lower them all the way back down. See how my elbows are now straight? Curl them up. Lots of people kind of want to stop here and then come back up. It's just kind of human nature. But I want you to get that full range of motion from those biceps. And then also, lots of people ask me, should you be holding them like this? Or should you be holding them like this? And ultimately, it doesn't matter. There are two different ways to work the heads of your biceps. And if you're a bodybuilder and you're really trying to develop them all, then it matters. And another way you can do it is do one set this way, do the other set this way. It doesn't matter. So often one way bothers somebody, you know, it might bother your elbow or it might bother your shoulder one way, but if you hold it particularly this way, which is called a hammer curl, it typically then gets rid of that pain. So hold them either way, whichever's more comfortable. If they both feel okay, you know, you can do one set this way, do the next set this way. Okay, that is it for today. So go ahead and repeat through those. If you need more of a workout, you could add more weight to your bands. You could double up on your bands. You can do a full squat instead of a mini squat. You can add weight to, you know, a kettlebell or something for those squats. Your calf raises, you could also hold weights in your hands. Your shoulders side to side, you could also do maybe standing on one foot. Your side stepping, absolutely add that resistance. And your bicep curls, you could also do, you know, either standing on one foot or a good tandem stance or standing on some balance discs, things like that. So make it harder if you need to, but start at the lower level and work your way up. So also go ahead and do 2 or 3 sets of these if you're able. And then you can also add some cardio in between to make it a more full workout as well. All right, keep moving, everybody. I hope your week's going well. I'll see you next time.